After that conversation with Pam at the cafe, Jay tried to move on with life. He really did. From the outside, everything looked perfect. Beautiful house, successful career, a loyal fiance in Sam, peace, stability, respect. But deep inside, something still hurt. Every now and then, Jay would catch himself thinking about Pam, not the version of her from the divorce, but the old Pam. The Pam who stayed up late eating noodles with him while they laughed about life. The Pam who believed in him before the world changed her. The Pam who held his hand when they had nothing. No matter how hard Jay tried to bury those memories, they kept finding their way back. One night after work, Jay sat alone in the kitchen staring at his phone. He had just gotten off a long emotional call with Pam, and for the first time in a long time, those old feelings came rushing back hard. Pam had been opening up to him again, telling him how much she regretted everything, how losing him changed her, how she realized money and appearances ruined the best thing she ever had. And honestly, Jay believed her because the pain in her voice sounded real. That night, Sam walked into the kitchen and immediately noticed Jay looked distracted. "You okay?" she asked softly. Jay forced a smile. "Yeah, just tired." But Sam knew him too well. A few moments later, she asked the question Jay wasn't ready for. "Do you still love Pam?" Jay paused for a second, then lied. "That's in the past." Sam looked at him quietly for a moment before nodding slowly. But deep down, Jay knew he wasn't telling the truth, because the truth was terrifying. He still loved her. Months passed, and eventually Jay did something he promised himself he would never do again. He reached out to Pam first. The second Pam saw Jay's name pop up on her phone, her heart almost stopped. She answered immediately. "Jay?" Hearing her voice again brought back emotions Jay thought were dead. At first they kept things casual, simple conversations, checking on each other, talking about old memories, but slowly things started getting deeper. The late night phone calls returned, the laughing returned, the emotional connection returned, and before long, Jay and Pam started secretly seeing each other again. Pam was happier than she'd been in years because deep down, she always believed Jay still loved her, and now she knew she was right. Meanwhile, something else started changing too. Pam began glowing again. She started getting back in shape, dressing better, smiling more, actually enjoying life again. Coworkers at the office noticed immediately, especially Sam. At first, Sam thought Jay was simply avoiding the office because Pam worked there. Jay stopped visiting during lunch breaks like he used to. He became more distant and quieter at home, but then little details started adding up. Pam suddenly taking more breaks outside during work hours, Jay getting home later than usual, him going straight to the shower, and then sleeping on the couch, saying he didn't want to wake Sam. None of it felt right, and Sam was far from stupid. A woman always notices when a man's energy changes. One night, Jay walked through the front door, exhausted. He barely spoke before heading toward the couch with a blanket. That's when Sam finally stopped him. "Jay," he froze. Sam looked him directly in the eyes. "Are you messing with your ex-wife again?" The room went silent. Jay tried to speak, but couldn't because for the first time in a long time, he realized he was becoming the person who hurt somebody else. Tears slowly filled Jay's eyes, and instead of lying again, he nodded. "Yes." Sam stared at him quietly. Jay immediately broke down, apologizing. "I'm sorry, Sam. I never meant for this to happen. I tried to move on. I tried so hard." But before he could finish, Sam interrupted him calmly. "No need to cry." Jay looked confused. Sam sighed softly before sitting beside him. "What took you so long to tell me?" Jay blinked in shock. "What?" Sam gave a small, sad smile. I knew you still loved her the day you saw her at my office. Jay sat there, speechless, because honestly, she was right. That day changed everything. Sam continued speaking calmly. You loved me, but not the way you loved Pam. I could feel it. Jay lowered his head in shame. But then Sam said something he never expected. She doesn't have to stay your past if that's really who you want. Jay slowly looked up. Sam's eyes watered a little, but she still smiled through the pain. I'm not mad at you for loving somebody deeply. I'm mad you thought you had to hide it. Jay couldn't believe what he was hearing. Then Sam shocked him even more. She can join us one day if she wants. There's no reason to sneak around. Just ask her what she wants. Jay stared at Sam completely speechless because in that moment, he realized Sam might have understood him better than anybody. After that night, nothing felt normal anymore. Jay couldn't sleep. Every time he closed his eyes, he kept replaying Sam's words in his head. I knew you still loved her. Hearing somebody say the truth out loud changes everything because now there was no more hiding, no more pretending. Jay sat alone in the living room staring at the ceiling while Sam slept upstairs. The guilt was eating him alive, not because he stopped loving Sam completely, but because he realized his heart never fully let Pam go. And honestly, that terrified him. For days, the house felt different. Sam wasn't yelling, wasn't arguing, wasn't throwing things or acting toxic. That almost made it worse. She stayed calm, too calm. And Jay knew calm women are usually the most dangerous because by the time they stop reacting emotionally, they've already accepted the truth. One evening, Sam came downstairs dressed casually and sat across from Jay quietly. No TV tonight? She asked. Jay shook his head. Nah. Silence filled the room. Then Sam looked directly at him. Do you love her more than me? Jay froze instantly because no matter what answer he gave, somebody was getting hurt. He rubbed his hands together nervously before finally speaking. I don't know. Sam nodded slowly like she already expected that answer. Jay looked down ashamed. I never meant for any of this to happen, Sam sighed. But it did happen. That sentence hit hard because it was true. Feelings don't care about timing. Sometimes people move on physically before their heart catches up emotionally. Sam leaned back on the couch, studying Jay's face carefully. You know what hurts the most? She asked softly. Jay looked up. You only smile like that when you talk about her. Jay's chest tightened immediately because he didn't even realize she noticed. Sam continued. You smile differently when it's Pam. Jay covered his face with his hands. At that point, he couldn't even deny it anymore. The connection him and Pam shared was unfinished. Years of love, years of history, years of pain. You don't erase that overnight. Sam's eyes started watering, but she still kept her composure. I gave you peace, she whispered, but she gave you passion. Jay looked at her completely speechless because somehow Sam understood the situation perfectly. For a few moments, neither of them spoke. Then Sam finally asked the question she'd been holding inside for months. Have y'all slept together? Jay shut his eyes immediately. That silence alone gave Sam her answer. She looked away, hurt, but not shocked. I figured. Jay started apologizing instantly. Sam, I swear I never planned this. It just happened slowly. Talking turned into feelings again, and then you remembered you never stopped loving her, Sam interrupted. Jay's eyes filled with tears because deep down, that was the truth. Sam stood up and walked toward the kitchen quietly. Jay followed behind her. I'm sorry, he kept repeating. Sam grabbed a glass of water before turning back toward him. You want to know something crazy? She said. What? I used to be angry at Pam for leaving you. Jay frowned slightly. But now, Sam continued, I think losing you made her become the version of herself she should have been all along. Jay stayed quiet, listening carefully. And honestly, losing her made you become the man you were supposed to become too. That statement hit Jay deep because she was right. Pain changed both of them. Sam looked him directly in the eyes again. So stop lying to yourself. Jay swallowed hard. If Pam called right now and asked you to start over, would you? Jay tried to answer but couldn't, and that silence said everything. Sam gave a sad little laugh and shook her head. There's my answer. Jay's voice cracked. I do love you, Sam. She nodded. I know you do. Then she stepped closer to him. But I'm not the woman your soul is chasing. That line broke Jay completely because for the first time, he realized Sam deserved better than half of somebody's heart. Sam wiped a tear from her face before forcing herself to smile. I think you've been trying to punish yourself for loving Pam again because you thought it made you weak. Jay looked at her stunned, but love doesn't disappear just because people hurt each other. The room fell silent again. Then Sam finally said the one thing Jay feared hearing most. So what now? Jay looked down at the floor for a long moment before answering honestly, I don't know. And for the first time since all of this started, that answer scared him more than anything, because now he had two women tied to his heart. And no matter what decision he made next, somebody's life was about to change forever. After that emotional conversation between Jay and Sam, the energy inside the house completely changed. There was no more pretending, no more fake smiles, no more acting like Pam wasn't sitting in the middle of their relationship every single day. For the first time, everything was out in the open. And honestly, that made things even more intense. Jay started noticing little things about Sam he had overlooked before. The way she stayed calm even while hurting. The way she never screamed at him or tried to manipulate him. The way she still treated him with kindness even after learning the truth. That kind of maturity is rare. But deep down, Jay could tell Sam was emotionally preparing herself for whatever came next. One night after dinner, Jay found Sam sitting outside near the pool staring into the water quietly. The house was silent. Jay slowly sat beside her. You okay? He asked softly. Sam gave a small smile without looking at him. Not really. Jay looked down, feeling guilty all over again. I never wanted to hurt you. Sam nodded slowly. I know. For a moment, neither of them spoke. Then Sam finally turned toward him. Have you talked to Pam today? Jay hesitated. Yeah. Sam noticed the softness in his voice immediately. That same softness she had been hearing for months. She sighed quietly. You really love her? Jay looked away. And honestly, he was tired of lying now. Yeah. Sam's eyes watered a little, but she forced herself to stay composed. More than me? Jay swallowed hard. That's not fair. But it's true, isn't it? Sam asked gently. Jay couldn't answer, because sometimes silence tells the truth louder than words ever can. Sam leaned back in her chair, staring at the stars above them. You know what's crazy? She whispered. What? I used to hate Pam. Jay looked surprised. Sam laughed softly. I blamed her for throwing away a good man. I thought she was stupid for not seeing your value. She paused for a second before continuing. But now I understand her more. Jay frowned slightly. How? Sam looked over at him. Because loving you is intense. Jay sat there confused. Sam smiled sadly. You make people feel safe. You make people feel seen. And once somebody experiences that kind of love, it's hard to let it go. Those words hit Jay hard, because deep down, that was exactly why he couldn't fully move on from Pam either. Sam took a deep breath before finally saying something that completely shocked him. Ask her. Jay blinked. What? Sam looked directly into his eyes now. Ask Pam if she wants us. Jay stared at her speechless. What are you talking about? Sam stayed calm. I'm serious. Jay shook his head immediately. No, Sam. Jay, she interrupted softly. Stop acting shocked. We both know your heart never left her. Jay rubbed his face in disbelief. This is crazy. Maybe, Sam admitted, but sneaking around and pretending isn't healthy either. Jay looked completely lost because part of him thought this entire conversation couldn't possibly be real, but Sam continued calmly. You love her. She loves you. And honestly, I care about you enough to at least hear what she wants before making any decisions. Jay stared at Sam in complete silence. He had never met somebody who handled pain like this before. No yelling, no revenge, no drama, just honesty. Sam stood up slowly. But there's one thing you need to understand, she said. Jay looked up at her. If Pam comes back into your life again, it changes everything. Jay's chest tightened immediately because he knew she was right. There was no going backward after this. Sam walked over and gently touched his face. I'm giving you a choice most people never would. Jay's voice cracked slightly. Why? Sam smiled sadly. Because real love isn't about control. That line completely broke Jay emotionally. For the first time in weeks, tears filled his eyes again, because no matter what happened next, somebody amazing was going to get hurt. The next afternoon, Jay sat in his car outside Pam's apartment, gripping his phone tightly. His heart was pounding. He couldn't believe the conversation he was about to have. After a few minutes, Pam finally walked outside wearing casual clothes and froze when she saw him leaning against the car. A smile instantly spread across her face. Jay, just hearing her say his name, still did something to him. Pam walked closer nervously. What are you doing here? Jay looked at her quietly for a moment before finally speaking. There's something I need to ask you. Pam immediately noticed how serious his expression looked. Her smile slowly faded. What's wrong? Jay took a deep breath, then looked her directly in the eyes. What if me and Sam both wanted you in our lives? Pam's eyes widened instantly. The entire world around her suddenly felt frozen. Because out of every possible thing she expected Jay to say, that was not one of them. And before Pam could answer, the story ends there.